This is Tim Wells, and I'm rolling with a copy of OBS and a built-in laptop microphone. This is another video from Nomad Funnelhacker. So we're looking at a site called Coolors.co, and this is a site I most often go to for colors and color palettes and all things color related. And I've done a couple of overview videos on Coolors.co, but this time we're going to drill down and just deal with one tool, and that's going to be the palette generator. Actually, I lied. We're going to actually look at two different things here. First off, Coolors is a free website. You can upgrade to Pro for $3 a month. Pro gives you a few more features, mainly how many colors, palettes, whatever you can store in your dashboard. And let's take a look at the dashboard right now, because I do have the free version. So we see I have 4 palettes in here right now. I generally don't say colors or gradients or anything else, just the palettes. And with the free account, I'm limited to storing 10 palettes here. Once I reach the 10, I'm going to have to either not store anymore, or save anymore rather, or I'll have to just throw some of these out, which is probably what I'll do. And that's the only real advantage I see to even having an account, is the ability to save. As for the Pro version, there are a few more features on there, but I don't think they're going to be of interest to too many people, except people that are really heavily into design and palettes and things like that. I mean, $3 isn't much, but still, it's $3. So let's go back out to the main panel, and we go to tools. We see we have a palette generator Explore palettes. Let's look at Explore palettes real quick. And this is just palettes that are going to be currently trending on Coolors. And you have a whole bunch of them here. I would say there's about 100. If you want more than that 100 or so, you're going to have to upgrade the Pro version, but this will be good enough for most people. Let's take this one here. We have a couple of options here. If we mouse over, we can see the hex code of the color we're on. If we click, we can copy that color to our clipboard. There's a few other options here that we can use, like opening the generator, copy the URL, and so forth. Most useful of these will be open it in the generator, so you can start working with it and then start changing things. But I want to start from the beginning here, as if we're going to not use a palette and start from scratch. So let's go back to the main panel. And this time we'll go to Tools, and we'll go to the palette generator. And it's automatically going to give us 5 colors, and this is randomized. You're going to get a different set of colors every time. Let's go ahead and click on the spacebar on our keyboard. We'll find that it's going to move to another palette of colors. Click on the spacebar again, another palette of colors. If we want to go back, we have an undo button to go back. Or if we want to go forward, or if we have gone back a couple of steps, we want to go forward, we have a redo button. I'm going to click on the spacebar a couple of times until I see something I like. Okay, let's work with this one here. And as you can see, you just keep on getting more and more variation. So on this one, we have rich black. We've got Prussian blue, which is more of a grayish color, even though it's technically blue. We have charcoal. We have jasper, which is sort of an orange color. And we have rose top. I don't like the rose top, so we'll probably be changing that. But let's start off with what we can do. Each color has its own hex code. If we click on that, it will bring up this color wheel where you can adjust the color, change the hex code, or use a color picker and use that on a different color and get that. You can also copy the color there. It's also nice that they give us the proper names of the colors. What we can also do here is click on this lock icon and lock colors where they won't change if we press the space bar. So I'm going to lock everything but the rose top, and you'll see what I mean. And you can see how it's changing everything. I think I'll stick with that ghost white. So let's go ahead and lock it down too. Actually, I don't want to lock it. Let's unlock everything just temporarily. We have our copy hex icon. And again, that's just going to copy the hex code to your clipboard. Next, we have this drag buttons. And this is why I wanted to unlock everything, because I'd kind of like to have this going from the darkest to the lightest color. So if I click the drag button and drag this ghost white, I can drag it over that way. And I can do the same with any other one that's unlocked. But I'm going to go ahead and lock them all just to be on the safe side. And I'm actually going to go ahead and save these to my desktop. So we're going to go call this Video Palette 2. We can put a description for text we want to save. Now, if we go to our dashboard, we can see we have Video Palette 2. And we can get back to it by just clicking Open in the generator. And it's going to open it up in whatever state we saved it. Let's go on with some of these other controls. Let's use we'll use the charcoal. Why not? Now we can save the color, and that will save it as a favorite in our desktop. I almost never do that. We can view shades. And what that will do is give us all the shades from the lightest to the darkest variation on this. And this is where I'm going to digress a little bit just to show you what's really going on there. So if we go out to our list of tools, we look for something called the color picker. And the color picker is more than just a color picker. Color picker is where you can use your color palette, type in a hex code, use your picker again, and it will put a color here and identify it by the hex code and by color name. And that's nice, but that doesn't tell us everything we want to know. So if we go down here, it will first show us the conversion factors for these. These really aren't going to matter to you unless you're mixing printing inks or something like that. By the way, I've done that before a long time ago. But it shows us our variations. So variations, our shades are our base color plus black in some degree. Our tints are our base color plus white in some degree. Our tones are our base color plus gray in some degree. The hue refers to the basic family of color from red through violet. So it's kind of works on a different scale than, say, for example, the shades and tints and tones. And the same with the temperature. The temperature is more of what kind of motion a color variation gives you, whether it's cool or warm. Also down here you have a few more things like color harmony schemes, blindness simulator for people who have vision problems, how they'll perceive your colors on a web page, and a contrast checker. And we have simpler versions of these tools also in the palette generator. But that explains what's going on. Let's go ahead and we'll go back to our dashboard. And we will go ahead and launch the Video Palette 2 in the generator again. Coming back here, you can see that we have our shades here. And we can also copy any hex code by clicking on it. If we do that, it's going to change the color. So right now we're on this one, 364156. We choose this one. You see it's changed it to a different color. But we go back here. Okay, there we go. Charcoal. And so that's what the view shades does. We have the simple version of the contrast checker, which is just going to tell us whether we should use white text or black text with this color. And as you saw in the color picker page, it has a better version of the contrast checker. The X, I would avoid touching at all. What it's going to do if you click on it is remove that palette swatch from our palette, and then you'll have to go backwards if you've saved this and get it, or to get back to 5 color swatches you'll have to basically get out of here and relaunch the palette generator again and start with a new set of 5 palette colors. Now, as well, we have a few tools here. We can make a collage. That's a tool we're not going to show. We can choose the generation method. We're on auto right now. I always leave it on auto, but you do have these other color schemes or color strategies you can choose. You've got settings, which I've never messed with. You can watch a tutorial if you want. So here you can create a palette from a photo. So if you have a photo, you can upload that. That's a tool. It's also another section. Of course, we covered our undo and redo buttons. Our visualize color is a tool that is otherwise in another part in Coolors, and all it does is tell you kind of how your colors are going to look. Let's go ahead and click on that real quick. It'll launch that in a different web page. And then it's just got these different graphics that kind of show the colors in your palettes arranged different ways. And it's a good guide to how things might look. Now, you're only going to have these here with the free version. If you want it with the 50 of these, I guess you call example templates, you need to upgrade to pro version. But that's what that is. We do have the color blindness tool where we can choose these different color blindness types and see how it looks. And you see how it splits our palette from the original to how it will likely be perceived by people who have different type of color blindness or other vision issues that affects how they view color. Can be useful. And you can apply that if you want to the palette as well. We're not going to. Now we have an adjust palette control, which will allow us to adjust the hue, saturation, brightness, or temperature. I never really mess with this, but if you do, you would have it. That bottom example, what would happen if we apply those changes. And this brightness, we take it away, it gets darker, or it gets lighter if we go there. We're not going to do anything, so we're going to cancel out of that. We have a quick view, which is just sort of a quick look like that. And you can export that if you want to show somebody. Speaking of which, we have an export function that allows you to do different things, send it to social media, embed, URL, PDF, code if you want it, and so forth. And then, of course, we've already dealt with the save button. And if we click this little hamburger icon all the way to the right, it's going to show us all the palettes we have in our library right now. And that pretty much covers it for the palette generator in Coolors.co. I like using it. I think it's one of the better palette tools around. And it's very easy to use and it's free. I think everything at the free level works fine for most people. So that's the video on the palette generator in Coolors.co. I'll leave a link to the site in the description. Other than that, my name is Tim Lewis. I'm a certified ClickFunnels funnel builder. I make tutorial and demonstration videos on ClickFunnels, funnel building, web page design, and tools like Coolors.co that we use in our work. That's the video for now. I'll talk to you later.